Positive energy all the time. Here we go. Here we go. Say hello to the bad guy. I gotta be the bad guy, huh? So yeah, rep your city, rep your city. I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. Was born here in 1958. My parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, and all those trace back to this country as long as you can go back. America, first off, America's letting too many people make decisions, but we're going to get to that later. Rep your city. Because I don't see how you could come here and ain't been here that many generations and start trying to call shots. I ain't understanding that. How you come here? I've seen these people protesting, right? For birthright citizens. And they ain't even really Americans like that, right? They're a bunch of foreign people that got here. How they going to make a decision how many of them you let over here? Of course, they're not going to make a legitimate decision. They're going to make a decision only in their best interest to get out of whatever country they're into. So they're making a decision based on leaving where they don't like. They're not making a decision, is it better for this country? So how you going to let them make some decision? Make that make some sense. How are you going to be in the country? There's people been in the country for hundreds of years. How are you going to let people running from their country come to this country and decide how many of them could come and have more decision and rights than the people that have been here? But the rights is only benefiting them to come here. Whether they don't care if it make no sense or not. We've seen that with the Hispanics coming from Venezuela and Mexico. Too many come, the place turns into a disaster. Look at Los Angeles. Look what happened when they let too many Mexicans and Hispanics in Los Angeles. I'm not trying to push no hate. I'm saying people got to be brought in so that the society can maintain. You just can't let people bum rush where you live at and receive aid and financial and everything and take it from the people that work for it. Ain't put a dime in the system, right? No work, no employment, no blood, sweat, or tears into the system and come and take money out of the system from the people that put money in the system so you could work a whole bunch of years, fall on hard times, got to get on unemployment or welfare. But somebody that ain't put no money in the system is getting a damn welfare. Later you find out which ones are legal, which ones are criminals. You don't even know who they are. And the next thing you know, your country is raggedy like their country. This is common sense. Unbelievable. But anyway, rep your city. We got Las Vegas in the building. I'm representing Chicago. You already know everybody on Twitch, everybody on Kick, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube. I'm representing Chicago. We got Buffalo in the building. We got Greensboro in the building. Come on, man. We got the South Side of Chicago in the building. Come on. Make this make some sense. Make this make like some kind of sense. Like some kind of sense. Make it make some kind of sense. Anybody with any sense know that birthright citizens will cause people to intentionally get pregnant and to come here and have a baby and dump all them babies here. Like anybody with sense knows, okay, listen, there are people that will accidentally go on a trip and get pregnant. My queen, when I was in Hawaii, she had 2 miscarriages. She decided to go, not because of the miscarriage, all that was over. She decided to go visit her relatives in California. She got in California, found out she was pregnant. When she found out she was pregnant, the doctor said, if you fly back, you had 2 miscarriages, you might have a miscarriage with this one. So she was stuck in LA. So I had to leave Hawaii and come to LA. And I ended up having 2 sons. Now, if that would have been a foreign country, then she would have been there and had the baby. But she would not have had the right to stay there after she had them babies and got stable. We should have had to leave because we're just there on vacation. So just because she has my son there, don't give me the right to live there. We got to go back where we came. It was an accident that she had the baby. So how can she intentionally stay? Yeah, 1 million Chinese babies that aren't even living here, but in China have citizenship and probably getting money. Make that make some sense. All that citizenship should be reneged. That should be no. Their citizenship should be disavowed. And China is an enemy, and you don't know who's a spy or nothing. This country's sloppy. Sloppy. They don't believe in spies. They don't believe in insurgents. Donald Trump said, birthright citizens has to do with the babies of slaves, not Chinese billionaires who have 56 kids, all of whom become American citizens. One of the many great scams of our time. That's why you gotta like dude a little bit. I got a lot of black people, they don't like when he do something I don't like it. When he do something I like it. I do the Democrats the same way. That's a whole nother video I need to talk about, where you just get stuck on a candidate and now you don't accept nothing that they do that's decent. You're a Republican and a Democrat does something decent and no, because you're a Republican. You're a Democrat and a Republican does something decent. It's like, no. That's whack too. And then you do that. And then when I come and say something positive about a politician, you try to fit me in your whack concept because you a hater and because you stuck on stupid. I don't have to disagree. I don't have to not like what Trump says. Just because he says something, I agree with it. That doesn't make me a Republican or any of that. That just means what he said, I agree with. That's all. Now, my parents been Democrat my whole life. I'm in Chicago, a Democratic city. Blacks been running as Democrats. So as a black man, I've been voting Democrat, but not because of Democrat, just because they were black and they were people we knew in the city and always they're Democrats, right? But I don't consider myself a Democrat because I was voting based on race. And no, when it was somebody running that was no good, we didn't have that problem because if we have somebody running for mayor, we have like 6, 7 black people. So we can always pick a decent one. So it wasn't like, oh, it's just 2 people running. The black guy ain't no good, and I just vote for him anyway. This is Chicago. I didn't have to do that. I got a whole plethora of black politicians to pick from. And so I do. Other than that, if I don't see anybody I like, I just don't vote at all. And I let the people decide. And whoever's the mayor is the mayor. I don't care if he's white. If he's the mayor, he's the mayor. And now he's the mayor. And I'm not going to hate on him because he's a white mayor. I'm not doing that. I'm not just like, oh, everything he does now is no good because I didn't vote for him. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. I just did. I didn't vote for him because he's not a good mayor. I didn't vote for him because I'm on some racial stuff because black people don't get no opportunity. Every opportunity I get, I'm going to put a black person in there, and I don't care who like it. If black people get the least opportunities, what kind of fool would I be not to try to get every opportunity that a black person can get? And anytime I'll tell it to Trump, anybody in the country, any of you black people too, I tell you in your face, when I get an opportunity to put a black person in a position, that's what I'm going to do. Because we're a minority. Period. But just like that. No apologies. And a problem if you all in my face trying to tell me what to do like you my daddy. Because I'm a grown man. So that's why I vote like that. I vote like that because black people is a minority. And I also believe people are going to look out for their own when the line is drawn in the sand. And so I believe if I put a Hispanic mayor in there, when the line's drawn in the sand, he's going to help the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans. I believe that. I don't believe that's necessarily wrong, but I believe that's human nature. So I'm trying to vote for a person that when the line's in the sand, they're going to look out for people like them, just like everybody else do. Now, all this pretending that whites don't look out for whites and telling me, no, you blind. Because that's one thing black people like me like about whites. I like that white people look out for white people. I like that. I like that. They stand on business for theirs like they supposed to do. Now, you black folks, you don't stand on business, then you mad that they do. You mad because they stand on their business and then you don't. You all wishy-washy. I can make 4 videos out this one video. This could be 4 videos. But this crazy situation where somebody can just come and have a baby and the baby's a U.S. citizen, that's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. Have your baby and take your ass back home. Why would you create something that's going to create scams? Why? Why would you create something that you know going to create scams? Right now, in Ghana, Nigeria, if they said you could come there and have a baby and the baby would be a citizen, you know how many black people go over there and dump babies over there? We'll scam it out. It'll get scammed out. It'll be scammed out. You know it and I know it. It'll be people doing it just because they can do it. Don't even want to live in Nigeria. Don't really want to live in Ghana. But I can go have a baby and my baby be an African, I'm out. Won't necessarily care nothing about the country. Go over there and have the baby and try to look for what they can get. That's what they would do. They would look, well, now my baby, what my baby get? My baby get some African stuff. What are we doing? What are we doing, y'all? Y'all know what we doing? Because I don't know what we doing no more. It's really getting silly. I'm going to tell you. I'm starting to think On my soul. You know what I'm starting to think? Yeah, there you go right there. Birthright citizenship has to do with the babies of the slaves because slaves wasn't citizens. Slaves wasn't citizens, Queen. Oh, Quentin. This Quentin, sorry. Slaves wasn't considered citizens. So they when they start working towards the Emancipation Proclamation and all that, they changed that. You have a baby, the baby's a citizen. And guess what? The babies became citizens, and guess what? Could they vote? No. Still couldn't vote. That's all. There go the fifth video. there go the fifth video. Dare to search. Always a pleasure. There's the and I didn't make, I got 5 videos out this one there. That's a whole nother video right there. That's a whole nother video. The baby, they passed that for the slaves. We had a baby, the baby is citizen, the baby still couldn't vote. The baby still couldn't vote. That's another video. By the time I finished this one video, I could break this down to 10 videos. I can go back and watch this and say, let me talk about that. Let me talk about that. I might do that. I might go back and watch this and break down this here, because it's a lot. Am I lying? It was for slavery. And when the baby was a citizen, when the baby grew up, could he vote? No. Unless I'm crazy. Tell me that makes some sense. He said this was for the slaves. Well, I would ask, so excuse me, Mr. Trump. Now, when that baby was born and that baby was a citizen, could it vote? And did it get paid his reparations? Did it get paid for what their mom and them did, or what was the benefit? None. What year was that? Did they have to still pick cotton? Could they ride on the bus like everybody else? No. All right then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the purpose it served, 100%. But then it was a bogus serve because it was phony, because you gave them citizens, but they still wasn't treated like citizens. I don't know what they changed. I don't know. I ain't looked into it. All I know is you can't come here from Peking and have no baby. That baby not no American citizen. That baby's a Peking baby. Okay? They need to let me change the law. I know how to change it. I know how to change the law, baby. When you come to America, you can only stay the most you can stay. And you got to get special treatment. It's 6 months. And if you're pregnant, the baby's citizenship is wherever y'all had sex at. I can fix that quick. Wherever you have sex at, right? That's where that baby belongs. You got to have sex there, and the baby got to be born there. If you didn't have sex there and born there, no. That'll protect us, because I say you got to leave in 6 months. So if you get her pregnant and you leave and have a baby in Peking, that baby is a Pekingian. Yeah, that baby is Peking. So don't come here and try to have no sex and stay 9 months. No. We're going to look at the thing. When you get here? Oh, this baby was born 10 months later. This baby belonged to where you from. ICE. Come get him, her, and this baby and get them the hell up out of here. I'm just saying. I don't know. Listen. Don't cry, Chinese lady. Chinese lady, don't cry. I know you had your baby over here. Don't cry. Don't cry, Chinese lady. You understand? She understands. So give me an interpreter. Give me an interpreter for the Chinese lady. Tell her. Interpreter. Tell her she don't have to go home. But you got to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 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 listen, lady, you don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here. Okay? You don't got to go home. You don't got to go home. Stop crying. Stop crying, Chinese lady. You don't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. Okay? You got to go. Did you understand the got to go part? Okay, well, get to step. Ice. We want all ice. No soda, just all ice. No soda. You don't want no soda. My boy, we just want all ice. We don't want no soda. I'm saying you got to go. Y'all trying to stack these babies over here on us. Come on, man. Stop trying to stack these babies on us like that. Look, let me take a break. Let me take a break and I'm gonna continue. I'm appalled. I ain't lying. I'm appalled. I'm appalled at this whole concept. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. None of this make no sense to me. It just don't. It doesn't make any sense. None. None of this makes any sense. No kind of way. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm not promoting no type of hate. Let's just get that straight. I'm not promoting hate. This is reality. Let's get that straight. People want to live a better life, right? People want to live a better life. Fine. But I'm saying you got to do something that makes sense. You can't take a country. Let's take a country in Asia that's doing really well. You can't just let a lot of people go, right? You can't just let a lot of people go and just become citizens. You said this mean FBA. What are you talking about? How could FBA family not be citizens when we're foundational Black Americans and we've been here? You don't even know. Okay, you don't know what FBA means. Sweetie, FBA means the Black people that been here when America became America back in the 1800s. So yes, our families were citizens. If that's the case, you're not American either. You're a white lady from Europe. Okay, we're not doing. Okay, listen. The slow school bus is over there. The slow class. Okay, I can't. I'm not going to waste my time. You're a white lady. You're not. You're not an American either. You're European. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Do you understand what I'm saying, lady? You know what I'm saying? She said, our ancestors is not from here. Okay? She said, can you believe that? She said, our ancestors not from here. And she not a Native American, right? And white people over here is Irish, Italian, and all that. And she, according to her, none of these white people is Americans, according to her. Ain't that crazy? Crazy. Just want to argue for the sake of arguing. But, you know, we're not doing that today. Nah, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to even address that. That's come on. She said your ancestors ain't from here. That the argument's over right there. Ancestors not from here. Christopher Columbus' ancestors was not from here. Okay, boo. All right. Got it. All right, let me no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna argue with you. Can you understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue with you, lady. She said, we not Americans because our ancestors don't come from here. And Christopher Columbus didn't come from here. Neither did George Washington and none of them. What the hell? Unbelievable. The Statue of Liberty didn't even come from here. It was sent from Europe. What? Pizza didn't come from here. Pizza got to go. You know what I'm saying? Pizza, spaghetti and meatballs, all of that is un-American. You know what I'm saying? According to her. According to her, spaghetti is un-American. Italian sausage is un-American because it's Italian. It got to go. According to her, the only thing is American is whatever the Native Americans was eating. I guess. I don't know. But we're not going to do that. I can't believe that. I said, I didn't know what to say. And that's the case. FBA is not Americans because your heritage is not from here, your lineage. Okay. Lithuanian lady or Irish lady or mixed white lady from a whole lot of different white countries. Okay. What the hell? Boy, you can't make this stuff up. Baby, bye. I'm just saying. Like I said, I'm not promoting hate. She don't know. It sounds to me like somebody that was giggling in class. That would sound like to me. That sounds like somebody that wasn't paying attention when the teacher was teaching. Because we all know Marco Polo, Christopher Columbus. We all know Christopher Columbus. We know the Pilgrims came here. Their heritage is not from here. I think we all know that. So she said, if your heritage is not from here, you're not an American. That is unbelievable. Well, I'll tell you what. If we deal with that principle, that if your heritage ain't here, according to that lady, you're not American. ICE need to get out here on St. Patrick's Day and get to grabbing folks. Yeah, ICE need to get out here on St. Patrick's Day and get these Irish people. They ain't Americans, according to her. According to her, they ain't Americans. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? You see why I got a school classroom here? I know what I was doing. I knew I was going to have a school classroom. I knew it. Anyway, the problem with birthright citizenship is it's not affordable. What do I mean it's not affordable? America works like this. You go to work. FICA is all up in your business. So when you get your check, FICA be done went in it. And FICA go in your check and take your money, and then that money is used for military and all that, right? And that money is put into the system, right? So all the things that's done is done from the tax dollars. Now, if somebody want to come to the country and get pregnant, have a baby, who gonna pay for it? Because they ain't paid no taxes. They ain't put no money in the pot. So how you come and eat out of a pot you ain't put no money in? Make that make some sense. You got to put money in the pot. You have to put money in the pot. We ain't gonna even argue that stuff because you got Chinese here that's been here. So she just talking crazy. You have Asian Americans that been Americans. The Chinese worked on the railroad, and they are Americans. So according to her, they're not Americans because they're Chinese. I don't even want to talk about that. Let's just move on. That's why I'm saying let's just move on. Because the Chinese helped build the railroad. Is she trying to say they're not Americans because they heritage? What? So let's just move on. That was totally ridiculous. We don't want to debate foolishness. Once we see somebody don't know what the hell they talking about, we're not wasting no. Let's not waste no time on that. That was totally ridiculous. Okay. Americans is people that was here a long time. Period. As simple as that. And then you can come and become American citizen, and that's fine. But you can't set up a scam and let people know if you come dump a baby out, we'll make all these babies Americans. Because it will create a scam. You understand? Like I said, I had a situation where my queen left Hawaii and went to California, couldn't come back. She didn't want to have a miscarriage. But if that would have been another country, I don't think it would be economical benefit for that country for us to, our children to just be from that country just because we had babies there. That's not economical feasible because if I come to your country and have a baby and the baby become a citizen, that baby's getting paid for right away with American tax dollars. Now that baby ain't gonna pay no tax until they get a job. Then that means me and the parents gotta pay taxes. But if we open up a store, they'll give us tax. You don't have to pay no tax for 7 years. So when these Africans and Chinese and these people come here, they be cheating Americans because some African or some Chinese can open a business, don't have to pay no tax for 7 years. After 7 years, they can close it, sell it to their brother, and now their brother can run it for 7 years. And they can do that 7, 14, 21 years. They can run a business, keep changing the name of the business, put a new owner, and never pay any tax into the system. All these holes got to be plugged up. All that's got to be over with. And it's just crazy that don't nobody use the statistics and the reality. But I'm the realest N-word alive, point blank, period. So I'm going to break it down that if I did this in the White House or in front of the Congress or the Senate, it'll be case closed. I close this case. It'll be case closed. Watch this. Let's start right here. You want to bring more people and have a baby, and the baby's a citizen. All right. Boom. As of January 2024, approximately 771,840 people experienced homelessness in the U.S. On a single night, representing about 23 out of every 10,000 Americans, 0.23% of the population. This constitutes a record high and an 18% increase from 2023, driven by a national affordable housing crisis. So you telling me that you have an affordable housing crisis? Homelessness has went up 18% in just this 2.5 years. And you telling me you can let people come and have a baby and you can't even house the people you got here? That's insanity, okay? That's insanity. That's insanity. And anybody in the government don't agree with me need to be immediately fired and replaced. There's got to be some more different type of impeachment. That's my 6th video. These politicians that play dumb, they need to be asked to step down immediately. Immediately. If you don't understand this and you're not really trying to get the problems in this country done first, and you want to let more people in there, we want you to step down. You're not qualified to govern. You're not qualified to govern. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Schmimocrat or a Remocrat, a Republican, a Jujubelin, or a Celebulin. If you don't understand that part, you should have to step down immediately that day. That day, you need to step down. And whoever you lost to, call them and say, you still available? Come get this job. Because guess what's happening? A lot of these immigrants are homeless. A lot of these immigrants are junkies. A lot of these immigrants are suffering. A lot of these immigrants don't have jobs. See, people take it for granted that they come in here and the system is helping them, they doing fine. No. They are struggling. Trust me what I'm telling you. Don't believe? Man, it's Hispanics homeless all over California. You will see Mexicans and other South and Central Americans homeless, starving, also addiction problems, other problems they picked up when they came. That's a fact. Listen, I lived in Hawaii for a while. So a few years ago, I was getting off the freeway and I seen a guy had a sign in Chicago. He had a sign, we'll work for food or homeless, something like that. And I noticed he was a Polynesian. So I rolled my window down. I said, hey, bro, where you from? He said, I'm from I think the Big Island. I said, Shaka, bro, I lived out there. So I said, what the hell you doing in Chicago homeless? Begging for food. And he was like, he rode with somebody from LA here, and then he fell on hard times. He lying. He was on hard times there. He was on hard times in California. All the way from Hawaii, and homeless in Chicago. See what I'm saying? Because you bringing people in on a bad situation with rent that you know they ain't going to be able to afford to pay. With a government that if you're going to try to cover it, the government already ain't taking care of the people that's here. So United States government, it's like a mama that got 3 kids she can't feed, and she let 4 more kids come stay with her. That's America. America's doing a horrible job with its own citizens, right? Their own citizens is homeless. And you got senators and congressmen that'll say somebody can come over here and because they have a baby over here, they can stay, but ain't taking care of the people that's already here. That's really treason. That's treason. I told them to their face. Let's keep going. You said somebody can come have a baby and stay here, right? All right. Approximately 47.9 million Americans, including over 12 million children, live in food insecure households, meaning they lack consistent access to enough food for an active, healthy life. This equates to roughly 1 in 7 households nationwide struggling with hunger. Now, wait a minute. If you got 50 million people hungry, 12 million children hungry, where you got room for somebody else to come and have a baby and be a citizen and you not feeding the babies that's already here? And is it just me? Or has common sense just jumped out the window? Because it looked like common sense jumped out the window or something. It's like one day common sense woke up in America and say, I'm out of here. That what it make some kind of sense, some kind of way. You got all these people ain't got no food. They all over the street bumming. I done did how many videos on that? We ain't even go back. I showed y'all all. And you talking about trying to decide if somebody can come in and have a baby and make the baby a citizen with 12 million children ain't got nothing to eat already. Make that make some sense. Make that make some sense. So I already showed you they homeless. They hungry. Americans that's already here. They homeless. They hungry. Right? Guess what else? They ain't got no jobs. As of February 2026, the U.S. unemployment rate is 4.4%, with approximately 7.6 million Americans unemployed. Now, wait a minute. You got 7.6 million Americans ain't got no job, and people losing their jobs left and right. The number's higher than this over the last 4 months. We know that. We know it's probably about 15 million. We know that because they just closed how many businesses? This rate has shown little change recently, reflecting a steady, slightly evaluated, and neutral labor market, with the labor force participation rate at 62%. Now, look, Americans ain't got no job. They got this big news that they want to debate birthright citizenship. But you know what's quiet? Do you know the news ain't going to report until next year, the year after? Do you know how would I solve birthright citizen? Take that damn baby back where you came from. It ain't nothing to solve. Get your ass out of here. That ain't going to be hard. Get your ass out of here. You can't come dump no babies over here. That baby, whatever you is, that's what that baby is. If you 2 Chinese people from China and you come here and get a baby, that baby's Chinese child from China. And that baby got to go back to China. Because anything other than that, we open ourselves up for scamming. And as me as president, I would not allow you to scam this country and have these anchor babies, a.k.a. Tethers, because that is the full meaning of a tether, where you're coming over here with a baby and attaching that baby to our financial structure, our food structure, our home structure. And you come in here just to do that. You're not accidentally having that baby. If it was an accident, yeah, but you know it ain't gonna be no accident. Okay? Fine. If it would be an accident, fine. But still the baby can't be no citizen. Just because you have a baby, that baby can't be, that baby is whatever the parents is. What is, we done went crazy? So you're telling me and a Black American wife, American citizens, if we go to Africa and had a baby, the baby ain't no Black American? How the baby ain't no Black American? How the baby African? When I probably put the baby in the lady in America. I don't know. My baby ain't no African citizen just because we fly over there and she had a baby. That baby, whatever me and the mama is. Listen, the baby, whatever the parents is, right? You have a son. When you have your baby, you give your baby your last name, right? How my baby got my last name, but ain't what I am? Just make some sense. That's got to go because it opens up scams. People are going to scam it. People are going to exploit it. Okay? People are going to scam it. People are going to exploit it. Okay? People are going to scam it. People are going to exploit it. Period. It's going to be exploited. It's going to be scam. Fraud. It's just wide open fraud. It's going to be wide open fraud. And how you going to have wide open fraud when you ain't got no jobs for the people already here? Exhibit whatever number. Look how many exhibits. I'll show you one more. Well, you got room for some people when you ain't taking care of business here for your own citizens. While there are high numbers of job openings in the U.S., often exceeding the number of employed people, structural issues mean there are not enough suitable living wage jobs for everyone. So if it's not enough suitable living jobs for everyone, why would you let somebody come in and do that? And that's the problem, the whole Democrat Republican stuff. That's the bigger problem too. Because you get idiots on both sides and they only see the idiots on the other side. And then they don't see the Republican people only see the Democrats when they do something stupid. And the Democrats only see the Republicans when because they both stupid. They both stupid. Both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is some idiots. Both sides. So we're not even doing all that. Don't even come over here with that. Don't come over here with that. Because both sides is idiots. And one way they can get away with it is stuff like this. As long as you picking sides, they can run the game on you. Okay? They can run a game on you. They can run a game on you. So I didn't get into that. The two side things is for losers. It's a loser mentality because both sides supposed to do their damn job. And Americans then got to the point where it's this side or that side, and that ain't how it's supposed to go. Whoever get the hell in there need to do their job. And this idea that they get in there and it's the party you don't like and you complain, basically you condoning it. Man, the Democrats ain't no good. They not doing nothing. Well, why you letting them not do nothing? Man, the Republicans is robbing us. Well, why you letting them robbing us? You understand? And so both is set up for you to complain about the other side. You ain't going to do nothing. Then the other side get in there, you ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to do nothing. Because the Republicans scam so much money for the filthy rich that people coming over here won't even affect them. That's a scam too. So if the Democrats let them come here, the Republicans is the reason that the rich don't care. It ain't going to bother all them people. Trump is cheating the system to make rich. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If the Republicans is making certain people filthy rich and keeping the rest of Americans poor, then birthright citizenship ain't going to hurt them. Right? It ain't gonna hurt them. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't do the two sides. Yeah, my perception, you're on the wrong page. You got to go on the cheerleader page. Get you some pom-poms. You're on the wrong page. Well, I don't deal with that. I'm not dealing with that. Now you want to do the name call and all that. I don't deal with all that. You're on here doing a bunch of stuff you ain't gonna do face-to-face and live. You're getting all emotional. And you know outside you ain't doing all that name calling. So we like grown men over here, okay? We ain't doing that. Your perception is, my perception 28, you got to go to the eye doctor and get some better glasses, change your perception. Because all that kitty, immature internet stuff, we don't do that over here. You got to go find the immature internet trolls. We don't do all that over here. This is real adult conversation. This ain't no internet kitty saying all kind of stuff because you behind the keyboard that you know in real life you ain't talking to people disrespectful like that. You want to get all disrespectful. We real respectful over here. You're not welcome over here unless you go sit in the corner on a timeout, get your attitude together, come back like a grown man on some grown man conversation. Not no conversation where we start slinging names and arguing and ain't nothing getting accomplished. Well, we're not doing all that. Somebody done told you wrong. We ain't been nothing over here but just breaking down facts. We ain't been doing all that emotional stuff. And yes, both parties ain't no good and they run a game on you. It's a straight up game from both parties. Anybody don't know that? When you look at them, they all rich on both sides. All them congressmen, all them senators, they wait till the camera come on and they start acting like they enemies. If you believe they enemies, you a fool. They ain't no enemies. That's all for show. That's all for show. They all filthy rich, pretending they care. Okay? That's all for show. Anybody buy into that Democrat, Republican, I don't even want to talk to you. Because that's not even real. That's not real. That's to keep you off balance. And every so many years, put somebody else in there because they don't put themselves in office. The rich put them in office and they do what they told on both sides. And the same people control both sides. The same people control both sides. So no matter who wins, they win. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. No matter who wins, they win. Okay, it goes like this, people. This is how it goes. You have the parent company. The parent company got a lot of money. Then the parent company owns these companies and these companies. Now, the parent company have this company back the Democrats and this people with money back the Republicans. But both groups that got money all work for the parent companies, right? So The parent company don't invest. The parent company have the smaller companies that they own invest, so you can't see that they're controlling it from both sides. So when they raise their money, their campaign contributions come from this group and this group. This group are back to Republicans, and this group are back to Democrats. But both groups that got the money are controlled by the parent. So no matter what happens, they win. And then you can't do nothing because it's going to take you 9 months to get going. You got 4 months in office, right? It's going to take you 9 months to get the wheels running. You got 10, 11, 12, right? So you got 3 months and 2 years. So you got 2 years and 3 months to try to get something done. Because year 4, you got to start running for office again. So if you look, by the time they get to their 3rd year, everything is over. They're not doing no more work. He get in there the 1st year, he ain't doing no work. He got to get in there and get settled. By the time he do some work, 3 months is over, boom. That's 1 year gone. 2 more years, he play around. Now it's time for re-election. When re-election comes, don't nothing get done. Don't nothing get done that last year they in office. Then they run the same play. So even if you get in there and do something that's detrimental to me and my business, I don't care because you're finna be out of here. You're finna be out of here in 3 years anyway. So you can't really affect me. We just hold on, sit back, you leave, he come, we finish the program. And all these people is friends. And if you believe that this really 2 sides, you a sucker. Because this ain't no 2 sides. This is 1 side. And when it's like cameras action, they start, my good friend, but we want this, we that. But soon as they camera go off, they drinking together. They got liquor in there. They got busted drunk in there. How many times? They all buddies. And if you come in there and you don't know the buddy system and you take it too serious, they get you out of there. If you come and you too serious, they get you out of there. Tell me I'm lying. If you come, no matter what side you on, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you get too serious, they get you out of there. Facts. Get too serious. You got to go. You got to go. The black lady that just lost, right? The black lady was talking all that stuff. What's her name? The sister. See how she lost in Texas? She got to go. She was too serious. She didn't know how to play the game. She really thought it was 2 sides. What's her name? What's the black girl that was always in there beefing? They got rid of her, didn't they? What's her name? Crockett. Jasmine, right? Jasmine. She got too serious. They like, this a game. This not really serious. They're like, this a game. What is you doing? Look, Jasmine is a Democrat, right? Marjorie Taylor is a Republican, right? Why they both gone? Because they was on two different sides, but they too serious. They don't understand. It ain't no side. It's a game. They really thought it's sides. They really thought it was sides. They thought it was sides. They really believe that. They ain't play the game. They ain't play the game. I'm telling you, you better listen. I can show you picture after picture how it ain't as serious as they got you thinking. It ain't like that. It's not like that. Exhibit B. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. This how serious it is. Do it look serious? He sent a signal to them people. Y'all go vote for Trump. Look, y'all go vote for Trump. Look at the guy here. Look how he clapping. Look how happy he is to see Biden promote Trump. Look how excited they are. It's not what you think it is. It's the young generation, they really got them as suckers. He said crying about Trump. Has anybody been crying about Trump over here, y'all? We ain't even said, you know what I'm saying? Bro, it's something wrong with you. Come back tomorrow. Hey, we ain't even, what is he talking about? He ain't even watch. This the same person all the time. Low IQ. He just come over here and say crying about Trump. And that ain't even what the conversation, but the conversation is about birthright citizenship. What's his name? I am everything. He's something wrong with that person. Every time that person come over here, be off subject and don't know what we be talking about. Like something wrong with him or something. Something wrong with you. What's your name? Something wrong with you. You got like some type of something. Something wrong with him. So yeah, it ain't no that Democrat Republican, that's not real. You see, I'm everything. He one of the suckers. I told you. He really believed it's Republican, a Democrat. You understand? That ain't even what the conversation is about. That's how you know He just slow and just troll it because he ain't take 5 minutes. He don't even know what we talking about. All he seen was Biden with the hat on and just talking crazy. This conversation is about birthright citizenship. This conversation ain't even about none of that. This is pre-recorded. He say the chat and all this is pre-recorded. Hey, he say this is pre-recorded, and I can talk to him. It's pre-recorded talking to him. He just posted it. It popped up, and he said I pre-recorded him saying this is pre-recorded. Rob said I pre-recorded him saying this is pre-recorded. Let that sink in. Now that show it. Look, this man said that I pre-recorded him saying this is pre-recorded. Like I went into the future and recorded him posted this and posted it. Unbelievable. Some serious stuff going on. You can't make this up. Look, he said this is pre-recorded and he just posted it. You can't make this up. You can't. No, I'm not super smart. Somebody else is the opposite of super smart. That's what's going on. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't nothing about me being advanced. It's the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Somebody cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. That's what's going on. Let me take a break. You can't make this stuff up, man. You know, I wish we could find some of these people so we could get them help. You can't make this stuff up. Sometimes it's so crazy, it's funny. He said it's pre-recorded. You can't make that up. You can't make it's like, what? Okay. So this situation with the coming over here having babies, that ain't gonna get it. That's not gonna get it. You're not gonna be able to come over here and have babies. Just you have babies over here. Because that's gonna create a now if you was in a fair, honest world, you would be able to do that. But in this world, if that pass, they're gonna just start coming. They're gonna start getting pregnant, timing it, coming over here. They're gonna come over here pregnant. They're gonna be on the planes pregnant. Because you can't make up certain rules in a society where people cheat. So you can't you have to watch the rules. People take advantage of everything. They run it in the ground. They're ruin it. They'll ruin anything. It happens a lot in the community where people try to have like free stuff they give out, and people come take advantage of it. People that don't need it come get it. People that come get the free stuff and go sell it. That's what's going on. You said we under stress. No, what's wrong with America is you eat trash. So your brain is lunch meat. You eat garbage. Americans eat garbage. So Americans is sick, slow, backwards, and all of that. You can't eat that stuff and be intelligent. Your brain, your heart, your stomach, all that's your body. Your whole body's connected. So when you eat trash, your mind gonna be gone. You're not gonna be able to think and analyze when you eat trash. When you eat trash, you're gonna be stupid. You can't eat a bunch of Cheetos, a bunch of red dye and all that and have a high intelligence level. Now you could talk and sound intelligent. That's why we got so many people talking all this intelligent stuff. But when you look at what they're doing, he talking real intelligent about giving you a breast transplant, putting fake boobs in. So he real smart. He real smart telling you to get some fake boobs. And then when they mess up 20 years later, this was the smart guy. But he's an unnatural. So when he's unnatural, his whole teaching, his whole mentality is going to be anti-positivity. His whole mentality is going to be on the dark side. It's only two sides. It's two sides in how you live. It's two sides how you have sex. It's two sides how you deal with your woman or your man. And it's two sides how you eat. Everything is two sides. It's the good, it's the righteous, and it's the evil. Everything is righteous or evil. And for the money, they're not going to sell you nothing, make you intelligent, because then you won't eat it. So in order for you to keep eating their food, they got to make sure you dumb. Then you'll keep eating it. And they do experiments on rats. They have had rats that they have given food. And they might have 200 rats. And the first 50 go and eat it and pass away. But because it got a taste, they'll all just eat it and pass away. Go look it up. And they'll do experiment to make sure that the rats go for the poison. And they'll put the right flavor. They'll keep messing with the poison until it tastes good. And then the rats will go eat it. They'll stop breeding. They'll stop having sex with the female rats and all that. Go look it up. They got food that make your testosterone go down, make you impotent, all that, and make you slow. You can't think. They didn't already show the children go to school and the children be eating all them flaming hots and stuff. They say the kids can't learn nothing. They be all hyped up and all wired up off of that, and they can't learn. They be having a learning disability. You understand? That's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's between you and your stomach and cancer. Just don't cry on the back end. That's all. You can do what you want to do. Just stop crying on the back end. Take the back end like a man. That's all. Eat what you want to eat. Just stand firm on the back end. That's all. Because the back end gonna come. Because you saying that like somebody care. You see how a person say that like it means something to me because he eating poison? See what I'm saying? Well, I'm eating poison. But don't nobody really care. I'm just not eating it. Nobody care. I don't care. I don't care if you eat poison, bro. Nobody gonna try to stop you. I'm not gonna try to stop you. I'm not going to try to stop you eat all the poison you want. And that blood clot is the stupid Jamaican. You ain't no Rasta. You ain't Ital Vital. You're Boomba. So it makes sense you Bumba. You saying Boomba clot and all that. You ain't saying Irie. And you ain't even on the positive side with that. You ain't even your wording with that is negative. You don't even know what blood clot mean. That mean a woman's period. You don't even know what you're saying. You don't even know what you're saying. And if a woman don't eat right, her cycle be worse too. On some real stuff. You better listen to me, Jay Blow, and stop blowing and stand up like a man. But real talk, you might get a queen one day. She get pregnant, have a baby. You feeding her that junk, and she gonna menstrual cycle gonna be messed up and all that. And you so busy over here clowning, you ain't learning nothing where you gonna be able to help your queen. And your queen gonna go in there and then check this out. When your queen go to the doctor, they gonna scam her and give her some more poison. They gonna scam you some more, send you to the pharmacy, send you to Walgreens. They gonna scam you some more. They gonna sell it, and then none of it gonna heal her. It's funny till your wife have a baby, your woman have a baby, something wrong with your baby. It ain't gonna be funny. Yeah, it ain't gonna be funny when you have a son and something wrong with him. Who been off for the last 30 minutes? I don't know what you're talking about. Who you talking about? What dude? What dude you talking about? What dude you talking about? Dude, you trolling. Yeah, this dude is trolling right here. Why you trolling like that? Why is you trolling? You's a grown man. All right, come back later, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, I see him. He just, you know what I'm saying? Got to get a life and grow up. Don't want to grow up. Don't want to grow up. Wasting his time. He ain't wasting my time. He wasting his life, wasting his time. He don't even know. He's shooting himself in the foot and he wasting his own time, bringing down his own. You know what I'm saying? He don't even know. And so this situation with birthright citizenship, you know, it sets up a scam, and then it turns into war. And see, that's gonna go bad anyway. That whole immigration thing is failing. They don't eat what we eat. They don't eat what we eat. They don't eat what we eat, bro. They don't eat that. They don't eat that. They don't eat what we eat, bro. They don't eat that stuff. They don't they don't eat that. They don't eat that stuff in they don't eat that stuff in Europe. They don't eat none of that. They don't eat that. They got a whole different They got a whole different food than what we got. They don't eat the food. They don't eat the food we eat. Uh-uh. They do not eat the food we eat. They sell that stuff. That stuff only sell over here. They don't eat that stuff. Mm-mm. If you look at our cereal and look at their cereal, man, they don't eat that. They don't eat that, man. Mm-mm. They don't eat that stuff. Go look it up. Their food ain't nothing like ours. That's what I'm saying. Our politicians, they ain't dealing with stuff like that. They ain't dealing with nothing like that. They selling Americans down the drain. And people coming over here and they gonna end up just as bad coming over here. Yeah, coming over here, they gonna end up just as bad. The politicians, they just get paid. They get paid to sell us that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. They're not dealing with nothing serious. They selling the people down the drain. And you go to them other countries, you can't get that stuff you could get over here. They trying to somewhat take care of their people. But in America, man, they sell you down the drain. Straight up. We got so much sickness and stuff, it don't make no sense. And all they do is just sit up there and argue. That's all they do. You look at this war. This war, anybody can see what's really going on with this war. It's all over oil. That's it. It's all over oil and world domination. That's all it's over. And those people is a threat. So they want to get them out of there because they're a threat. And where Iran made a mistake is it became a real threat. So now they could really get them out of there because once they wanted to get nuclear weapons, that's all they needed. Because they're not mentally stable enough to have, as a country, to have nuclear weapons. Anytime you blow yourself up, ain't nobody gonna let you get no nuclear bomb. I mean, it's real simple. Anytime you blow your own self up, no, you can't get no powerful weapons. Because you don't have no love for life. You don't care nothing about life. You're too religious. And when you get that religious, you might do anything. If you get that religious, You might do anything. Because the U.S. just sell their people down the drain, man. I'm telling you straight up. Look, look at the food in the U.S. and look at the food in the U.K. You think I'm playing? Just look. Look at the difference. Look at the ingredients. See, we had a couple dudes come over here talking stupid. Like it's funny that they eat trash. Checkmate. Because while you think it's funny you eat trash, look at your ingredients that you're giving your baby and look what they're giving their kids in the UK. You think that's funny? That's funny? Who think that's funny? Who think that's funny? That's funny? That's funny? You want to brag? Oh man, I'm going to go and eat more trash. You don't even know you eating trash. Look at the ingredients. And then go look at your family. They all sick. Everybody on pharmaceutical. Everybody sick. They sick early too. Not no 70s, 60. Y'all sick in 30, 40, sick. Sick early. Look. Because the corporation, if they going to make money, they don't care. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And these are people that back the politicians. So they got to do this in Europe to back what them people want, because if they don't, them people won't vote for them. And then they got to do this in the United States, because if it don't taste good, Americans going to get mad. Americans want trash. You seen people, brothers come over here bragging that he going to go get some trash. He thought it was funny. He actually thought it was funny. Now, can a person like that make a decent decision when it comes to politics and voting? No. Anybody that think it's funny that they putting stuff that's going to destroy their colon, their kidney, their heart, their blood cells, their prostate, and think it's funny. Then got to go get honey packs. Eventually, them ain't going to work either. Because you ain't going to make no sperm. How? You ain't eating nothing to have sex. You eating stuff to make you don't have sex. But it's funny, huh? Well, Biden didn't know what he was saying. He was just talking outside his neck. This country ain't gonna never turn fully immigrant. That ain't gonna never happen. The politicians only run Americans so much. When Americans get fed up, it's the gig is up. This is the only country where the politicians could be stopped in their tracks. It's the last free country. You go too far over here, we'll chase you out of office. That's a fact. That's what I like about America. And people that's telling you they're going to run over Americans, them is lames. They don't know nothing. Anybody tell you that the United States government going to run over Americans, they don't know nothing about Americans. They're on the internet. They on the internet. They don't know nothing about Americans. That's for sure. They on the internet. And when Americans get fed up, it's over. It's a wrap. American citizens are the most armed citizens in the world. The American citizens got more guns than armies got. That's a fact. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. I mean, they come over here tripping a little bit, but a lot of that's hyped and because they be in, because I'm in Chicago, nobody come over here talking nothing. It's quiet up here. When I go on the internet and I be seeing immigrants doing certain things, it be looking foreign to me because they don't do that here. You ain't gonna see no African talking crazy to no black American nowhere in Iraq, baby. No Asians or nobody else. So a lot of that got to do with blacks being outnumbered or being kind of lame wherever they live at. They ain't standing on business. So they run. I noticed certain places they run over. They'll run over certain blacks. So I might be out the loop because where I live at, because we ain't going. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I live somewhere where we ain't going everywhere else. Everybody going. So it might just be that. Because I see how the Mexicans ran over L.A. and the Hispanics. But I seen when the Venezuelans came here, they was real quiet. I remember when the Venezuelans started coming up here, I had a whole bunch of haters that hate Chicago. Where y'all at now? Y'all was like, oh, they gonna do this, they gonna take over. All right. Why nobody stood on that? A year later, everybody disappeared. Nobody came and said nothing. Where that energy at? I thought y'all said they was gonna punk us. When? Uh, when? When that gonna happen? I don't be forgetting. When the Venezuelans came up here, it was amazing how many black people hated Chicago. I think we tougher than y'all. We the baddest on the block. And so he was like, oh, Chicago, y'all, all that. Watch the Venezuelans. It was crazy to watch black people cheer against black people. Black people was cheering against us. They was hoping that we fall under the Venezuelans. It was crazy. It was so disrespectful. That's why the black man is so weak. There is no way no Venezuelans would come to Dallas or nowhere and I would tell you, they're going to take y'all over. They're going to punk y'all. I would never say that. I didn't say nothing about freedom and democracy. I'm talking about revolution. I ain't talking about freedom and democracy. I'm talking about the Civil War, and I'm talking about when Americans get fed up, they'll go crazy. So I ain't talking about freedom and democracy. I'm talking about something else I don't want to say on YouTube. I'm talking about something else about Americans. I ain't talking about freedom and democracy, that's for sure. I'm talking about that other thing that I can't talk about. The NRA. Let me say I'm talking about the NRA. We ain't going like that. That's what I'm talking. I ain't talking about no freedom and democracy. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when we get fed up, it hit different. It's different. It's different when we get fed up. It ain't like that nowhere else in the world. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something totally different. It's only so much they could do here. The United States, It's going to be the only place that ain't going to take the mark of the beast. Remember I said it first. The cashless society going to fail in the United States. Watch. I'll stick my neck out. When the cashless society come out globally, you know one place where it's going to fail? It's going to fail. It ain't going to work here. Mm-mm. It's going to flop. I'll be I'll be sticking my neck out on historical stuff. Nobody challenged me on it. So far, everything I said came right. Nobody had challenged me on that. But we'll have to wait some years to see. But I'm telling you first, when the cashless society come out all over the world, it's only one place I would want to be, in the United States. When they try to make everybody take the microchip, the only country I want to be in is the United States. When the jab came out, the United States didn't take it. They don't tell you that. United States didn't take that COVID shot. Go look up the statistic. They ain't take it. Look it up. Did the United States take that? No, only a few people took it. Comparatively speaking, nobody took that here. As a matter of fact, in Chicago, I was driving Uber. They didn't even put their mask on in the hood. Nobody had no mask on. Nobody had no mask on and nobody died. Oh, my soul. When it got real bad and nobody was outside driving Uber, and I was making hundreds of dollars on the South Side. I never worked on the South Side, but it was surging. It was burgundy. And the black folks was outside. All the young YGs, they was in the car passing stuff. No, in the car, none. It looked like the same thing. It never did look. You did not see all no black folks with no mask on. They was still drinking and partying. They was all on the block. It was like nothing happened. And they had natural immunity because that's what they kept telling them. If you don't put their masks on, you'll create natural immunity and you ain't got to worry about it. It only making you sick because your body ain't never seen it before. It's a new virus. But once a couple people get it and you spread it around, it's going to be nothing. No, that ain't what I'm saying. That ain't what I'm saying. And then you the one asked me the question. So now I give you the answer. I don't know. I'm learning not to link up with people that's kind of like intentionally argumentative. You say, man, we going to the right. They're like, well, why? Everybody don't go to the left. And you be like, man, everybody don't go to the left for this. And they be like, well, why this? Oh, okay, all right. You playing. I ain't jumping through no ropes for you, bro. I answer your question and let's move on. Because it's still the same thing. They forced them because they're not us. What part of that you don't understand? He said they forced the other country. And why did they force them and why didn't they force us? It go back to the same thing I'm saying. They couldn't force us. It wasn't that they didn't, they couldn't. They tried to force us, but they can't. They can't force us. What are we doing here? The reason they didn't force us, because they can't. Look at me. Do I look like I could be forced to take the jab? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Hey, I went to the doctor. What'd I go to that lady for? I went to this lady for something. What I went to that lady for? I forgot. I went to this lady because I wasn't sick. What'd I go to that lady for? Anyway, I went to the lady. I forgot what I went for. And dang, what did I go for? And she said, she said, have you had your flu shot? I said, no. She said, you want to take it? I said, no. So she waited a little while. And then she said, have you had your COVID shot? I said, no. She said, do you want to take it? I said, no. She said, it's better if you do. And I said, is it? And she had asked me, no. She said something like, it's better if you do, or if it's safe if you do. So she said, like, it's good if you do, right? I said, is it? And then she looked at me like, okay, I'm just gonna leave you alone. Thank you. Whatever I came in here for, let me go. I think I was in there for some kind of checkup for something. I forgot. It wasn't nothing wrong with me, so I think it was some kind of checkup. It'll come back to me while I went to see that damn lady. I went to see that lady for something. I forgot what it was. I forgot what I went to see her for. She tried to get me to take the flu shot and the other shot. I'm like, lady, I don't take no shot but the jump shot. Is you crazy? Or a shot of I take a shot of Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? You got some Hennessy back there, I'll take a shot of that. Lady, get your ass out of here. I ain't had a shot. I ain't had a shot since like 19. Real talk. I ain't had a shot since like 1970, probably 1970 or something. Had to be like 1970, 69, 70. Because I remember because I started high school in 72 and they had the diphtheria. And my mother tried to go get me to take the diphtheria shot, and I wouldn't go. She also tried to, I kept getting a sore throat. She tried to get me to go get my tonsils. I wouldn't go. That when I was in high school. I ain't been to the doctor. I became a vegan in 78. I ain't been to the doctor like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to the doctor like that because I don't eat stuff and make myself sick, and I just use natural stuff to get better. I don't be going to the doctor taking that junk like that. And my mother took the diphtheria shot, and like 6 years later, it was on 60 Minutes showing how it messed a lot of people up. Listening to them people. She went and took it, and it came on 60 Minutes how it wasn't, they had to ban it. I told her stop listening to them. Stop listening to them. Them people be on some Frankenstein stuff. So that's what I think about that, man. The birthright citizenship. Mm-mm. I think it's. I think it's. I think. I think it's ridiculous any way you look at it. Because if some people come here from China and the lady have a baby, the baby's Chinese. You're a Chinese citizen and you on a vacation and you had your Chinese baby in the United States. Just because you had your baby in the United States don't make it a United States citizen. It's still Chinese because you're under here under the jurisdiction of the Chinese government. You had passports and everything from China. So you are Chinese visiting the United States. Just because you visiting, you can't have a baby and it's a citizen because you visited. That doesn't even make no sense. that me and my woman go visit Spain and have a baby, and now my baby is Spanish? No, my baby is from Chicago. What are we doing? I remember when I got stabbed and I was still getting down, and then my woman, she had to go out because she was fighting cancer, my son's mother, and she was pregnant, she went to LA and had the baby. He was born in LA, but he not no Los Angeles. He's a Chicago. He was conceived in Chicago. How the hell he LA? How were you born trump where you was conceived at? Which one trump to y'all? Where you conceived at or where you born? I think wherever you had sex at, that's more than where you was had the baby at. And then where you from? We lived in Chicago. He ain't no LA citizen. He's from Chicago. He was conceived in Chicago. And then I live in Chicago, and his mama got to come back to Chicago. So what do LA got to do about it? They do allow it though. They do have that in some countries. Let me see if I saved it. They have birthright citizenship in some countries. Oh, I didn't save the countries. But they do have birthright citizenship in some countries. I meant to save it. I forgot to save it. Hold on, let's take another break. But they do have it. They have it birthright citizens in other countries, but it don't make no sense. Real talk, I don't really understand why the government don't know that when what I'm saying is typical in business. So what I mean by that, in business, when we come up with something that we want to do in business, do you know one of the main things we have to check is there any kind of way to gain or that we could lose from some type of promotion or something we're doing in business? We have to make sure that whatever we come up with, we won't lose on the back end. Because that happens a lot in business. You come up with a business idea, but then people scam it, right? And then you lose. So in business, you're always looking to make sure that whatever type of promotion you got, that won't nobody take advantage of it, because people will take advantage of your promotion and you'll lose money. Happens all the time. You try to do something nice, the first you do this, you get that. And then a whole bunch of people do it and you end up not being able to come through on what you promised. Much respect, sweetheart. So one thing you have to do is you have to make sure that whatever you come up with, that you don't do something that backfires. So it's not about like, oh, they can't come here. It's that it's not like, oh, you don't want them to become citizens. It's that people will scam it. That's the problem with birthright citizenship. It's a good idea. Well, it's really not a good idea at all because, come on, you get pregnant, you have a baby, you come here for a trip. Your plans was to come here for a trip and go home. So just because you have a baby, what now what? That means don't go back home? So I don't understand that part. I don't know what having a baby having to do with you going back home. And I don't know how you can have a baby and it be a citizen of where you had the baby at. It's a loophole. It's a way they're trying to create a loophole that ain't gonna work. That's bad because now you're making people think to run a scam. People that never thought about doing that, all of a sudden gonna get their woman pregnant, come over here, have the baby. Now my baby's a citizen, and it's not even a real natural trip. So people not even taking a trip to take the trip. Now you're making them take a trip so the baby's a citizen. So the trip is a scam. And then how much is that going to cost us? What do you get as a citizen? What economical benefits? Because there's some economical benefits from that. And then you ain't paying no taxes. The mom and the daddy ain't. So where's this money supposed to come from? That's nobody talk about that. Where is all this money supposed to come from to financially help a whole bunch of millions of people that just come and have a baby? That ain't put no taxes into the system or nothing like that. That don't make no sense. It just really doesn't make any sense at all. You're just asking people to scam you. That's the problem. The problem is you're creating scams. That's crazy. And they're creating something that everybody know they're going to still have to stop it. Listen, am I lying? If they let that go through, they're going to have to stop it. They got to stop it anyway. If they pass that and make that where that's legal, they going to have to stop it. Watch. Planes going to be full of pregnant women from all kind of poor countries. Why would you create a problem? You ain't going to be able to deal with this problem. Like, okay, what's the solution when they come? Nobody never thinks it through. Okay, when they come, how do we do this? So it's not about them not coming. It's about America. How do you do it? Tell me how that works. That doesn't even make no sense. That somebody can come in from China with a baby be a citizen, but a white person that family been here forever is in Tennessee hungry. In Kentucky. I always talk about the people in Tennessee, Kentucky. Nobody talks about them. You know how many white Americans is struggling in this damn country? Everybody just think whites just doing good. That's bull. That's bull. Because they only highlight the big cities. They don't highlight these small rural areas in Arkansas and stuff, or what the farmers going through in Texas when they ain't got no water and they ain't got no hay, and all the struggling people in the country. That's why so many white Americans get pissed, because everybody just act like they doing good. Just because a lot of the rich people is white, that don't got nothing to do with the poor ones. So how the hell you gonna take care of some Japanese baby and white people here ain't got nothing, black people here ain't got nothing? Yeah, make the people that been here a billion, zillion years. Make that make some sense. That money could go to Tennessee, Kentucky, the backwoods, some of these places like Mississippi where blacks is, Alabama. It's areas where people ain't got nothing in some of them places. They always highlight Chicago. They always highlight the big places. Nobody talk about these places that's the big business left, no jobs. All of these young people, they trying to leave their little small towns and they trying to come look for opportunity. So how you gonna have all of these Americans, white Americans, black Americans and stuff, coming from different places where there's no opportunity, trying to find one of these bigger cities for opportunity, and then got a bunch of people coming from Asia and everywhere scamming on top instead of letting them get opportunity. That don't make no sense. I live in Chicago. A lot of my white friends, they looking for opportunity. They won't even buy homes. Like I know a lot of white males, like I hang with a lot of younger people. They 20, 25. They're like, Pharaoh, we don't buy no home because dude was like, if I buy a home, Pharaoh, and I got a job, and the job start going bad, and one of my friends in New York tell me it's a good position there, I need to be able to go to New York. So we'll get an apartment, 2 bedrooms, and we'll sublease out so everybody pay a portion. So 2 dudes will sleep in one room, 2 in the other room. And if one of them get a better position, he can go and we'll move somebody else in that room. And then if it go good, then he send for us and then we go. Because we got to go wherever the opportunity is. And they told me they don't want to buy no house because they said if they buy a house in the city and the opportunity dried up, they can't move because now they got this house, they got this mortgage, they got all this furniture. And they was telling me under this economy, Pharaoh, it don't make no sense to be stable. See, I be listening. I don't do racism. I don't do age. I don't do nothing. I listen to anybody. I know what I know, but I know what I don't know. And that's what a lot of people don't know about me. I listen a lot. That's why I know a lot. I don't know a lot because I know a lot. I know a lot because I listen a lot and people tell me stuff and I take it in. I don't reject knowledge. So he could be a young white dude, 23, when he dropped a bomb on me, I take it. I'd be like, that's deep. I don't be like some of these people trying to argue with dude when he telling me something. I say, oh, that's how it go? That's how I learn. I learned a lot. One night I learned a lot because I was sitting with a bunch of young whites. I was like, ancient. I'm the only ancient one. I was the only black. They was all like 23, 22. And I was at their little apartment. I had dropped one off doing Uber, and he was like, you should come up. And I was like, well, I guess I made enough money. So I went on up there with the young people. And then they broke it down on me. They broke a lot down. Because it started, I asked the young white lady, I said, man, where you park your car up here? Because there ain't no parking. And they started laughing. Oh, my soul. There was some young white college age. I said, where you park your car? They said, we don't got no car, Pharaoh. I said, you don't got, they said, no, we don't buy no cars. They was like, dude, if we buy a car, we got to pay insurance. We got to buy a city sticker. We got to have a license plate. And we got to pay to park it somewhere. They said, why do that? We want to go to a club. We call Uber. It pull up in front of the club. We can go right in and watch the concert. We don't got to drive around 2 hours looking for parking. We ready to go. We call Uber, take us back home. And then they was like, and then when we want to go somewhere, we in Chicago, we take the L train, we take the bus. They said, why would we pay money for cars? So the white dude said, yeah, bro, that's Fred Flintstone. That's what he said. He basically called me Fred Flintstone. He said, you own some Fred Flintstone. I said, man, what? Oh, man, I'm trying to be the Jetsons. They told me, man, I sound like Fred Flintstone. That's what they said. They're like, that's Fred Flintstone. And then they told me, they said, we don't buy no houses and we don't get no apartments, got no, they said, we don't get no apartments, got no kitchen. It's all open. It's the kitchen and then it's all open. They don't do the closed off kitchen. The whole what you call a living room and all that, it's all open. They say, you see, everything's open because we like to party. And they say, okay, it's 4 dudes, we stay here, but we ain't never home. We always with our girlfriends anyway. I was like, damn. And they like, we got to be able to go get the money. They said, we got to be able to go get the money. They said, Pharaoh, our house make us, we cannot go get the money. And they said, this is the deepest part. They said, we don't show no allegiance to no city. I said, damn. I learned all that one night. That's one of the deepest things I ever learned about the future. They took me in the future. They said, we don't show no allegiance to no city. I said, what you mean? He said, if you got a job and you got to work till retirement, you showing allegiance to that city. You can't leave that city. You got a house, you got a job there. So if there's more money in another city, you can't go get it. I said, damn. They said, but us, if there's more money over here, we gone. I said, because dude was like, yeah, because Jeffrey's up in New York. I'm leaving next week, Pharaoh. He went up there. He's got a big job. I'm going to make another. He said, I'm making another, what, 10,000 more a year? I'm out of here. I said, damn. They said, those old stuff y'all been doing, being locked down in these cities, having to work till you retire in these cities, you can't do nothing because you can't say nothing. You got to do everything your boss tell you because you got a mortgage. You can't move. They got you. I said, you know what? You're right. Because I ain't never had no job like that. So that's how I always make money because I ain't never had to stay nowhere. I'm in Chicago. I'm in L.A. I'm in Hawaii. I'm chasing the bag. So I said, yeah, that's how I was living. I just didn't know that's what I was doing. I didn't know that's what I was doing. My point is you can learn from everybody. You got to listen. When knowledge go like this, when somebody dropping knowledge, shut the hell up. Even if you don't agree with them, shut up. Don't stop them. Because there ain't a lot of people going to drop no knowledge. So when people drop knowledge, stop competing because you blocking your blessing. You cutting them off. So now they might not say what they would have said if you would have just shut up. They might have said something, but you cut them off, killed the knowledge. Let them flow. Like, it ain't no need for me to straighten you out. Just drop it. Just keep dropping it. Let me hear everything you're saying. Later when I'm done, I'll pick the parts I like and throw them out the rest. But I'm not going to stop you. Because when it comes to knowledge, whoever got the floor, it's like this. We all sitting around talking just nothing. Somebody start talking something deep. Whoever start talking something deep, they deserve to be respected. Because the rest of us wasn't talking about shit. So why would we stop the deep dude? Let the deep dude go deep, or the deep person. Let them go. Let them go. Let them build. We wouldn't talk about nothing anyway. Don't start challenging them when they took the conversation on a high level. Nobody else did it. And a lot of times it's the dumb dude who wasn't talk about nothing. He cut off the smart lady that's trying to take it on another level. Now here he go interrupting her. Like, dude, shut your dumb ass up. Shut your ass up. We want to hear what she's saying. Now you smart all of a sudden. All night you been an idiot. You ain't know nothing. Right? Now Patricia, she started knowing something. Now you know everything to compete with her. It happened to me all the time. Don't nobody know nothing until I do something. Now everybody know everything. I'm like, well, damn. When I come over here and I don't know nothing, I ain't talking about nothing, I say, ask me some questions. Crickets. Now all that deep stuff be gone. I'm like, all right, today I don't feel like thinking. Ask me some deep questions. Crickets. It'd be crickets. Them ones that be doing all that typing over here. Watch next time I ask for questions. I bet you don't ask me nothing intelligent. I bet you they don't know nothing when it's I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. I'm just telling you how it is. Anyway, I'm for the end this. I ain't against, like I said, I ain't promoting no hate. And I feel like people got a right. I feel like people got a right to look for a better life. I do agree with that. I do agree people got a right to look for a better life. I don't disagree with that. None. My problem is don't scam to get a better life. Don't scam though. You got a right to look for a better life, but don't scam. And this causes scams to me. It causes scam. It make people do it. They not doing it for no righteous reason. Because anytime you're trying to do something positive, and it's a little open for everybody, who be the crooks, the lowlife. You try to do something, maybe sit out some free candy on the block for the kids. Who show up? The kid that gonna take it all and throw it in his bag and ride off. So anytime you have something that you're trying to do positive, you got to be careful because the negative people will ruin it. And birthright citizenship, the negative people will definitely they'll make that the worst thing ever. And there'll be a whole bunch of babies that they'll be calling American citizens. It'll just cause a whole bunch of problems. It won't be no money. The Board of Education will get overloaded. It'll be a mess. Millions and millions of dollars will go out of the country back to their countries, just like the Somalians did up there in Minnesota. They came there, they scammed, and they mailed all that money back to Somalia, to terrorist organizations. They sent probably billions. Gamed the system, robbed the system, and they some fly by night. So if they have opportunity somewhere else, they'll all just pack up and leave just like they packed up and came here. They'll have no loyalty to the country. They'll try to turn your country into their country. So you want to come to the United States, but when you come to the United States, you don't want it to be the United States no more. So you want to come to the United States because you say it's better. Then you want to turn the United States into Somalia that you say is worse. So you want to turn it into the worst place you left. Make some sense. That's like it's too much gang violence in Chicago. I want to move to some other city. I want to move to Dallas. And then I go to Dallas and start the GDs. You know what I'm saying? But I swore I came to Dallas. I'm trying to get out of Chicago. And I bring all the bad stuff I could think of from Chicago to Dallas. Because you left Mogadishu and now you want to turn Minneapolis into Mogadishu. What are we doing? So now you're there taking a crap in the street, same way you do over in Somalia. You don't use the restroom in nowhere. You're doing you turn this into Somalia. So you left Somalia to turn this into Somalia. Because they found out it was a scam. And once they found out it was a scam, they called Abule. Oh, it's sweet here. Oh, yeah, they just give it away. They just give it away. You need to hurry up, give it away. Yeah, come you fill out the thing, you do the thing, they send you money, nobody check. Yeah, we got 5 businesses now. Yeah, we have a restaurant, hold 38 people. Yeah, we told them we sold 6,000 dinners a day. They had a restaurant that hold about 38 people, and they said they were serving 6,000 lunches a day. In Minneapolis. They had a little place that only 36 or 38 people could sit down, and they were scamming, saying they were serving breakfasts and lunch to 6,000 people a day, which you can't even do with a big restaurant. And somebody signed that off and gave them the money. It's supposed to be some kind of free food program. They said, well, how much money you need? We need enough for 6,000 people a day. How much is that? And they gave it to them. And next thing you know, people that came there with sandals on, they all drive around in Bentleys, Benzes, Lexuses. They all drive around in BMW, brand new BMWs, straight from Mogadishu. Look it up. Scammed billions of dollars. Looking for a better life. Now, if that ain't the perfect example on what birthright citizenship will do, it's crazy. We ain't got no money for birthright citizenship. You want to do something with that money? Pay for these young people to go to medical school and pay for it. That's what I would do if I was president. You go to medical school, it's free. Because they're going to come back and help us. We got all these doctors and nurses and all that. They're going to pay. That's the gift going to keep on giving. Because they're going to come out, they're going to be making big money. And then a lot of people like that, when they come out, they're going to donate back to the program. Oh, man, I remember I was young, man, they paid for me. Government, where can I send some money to help the more kids do like what I did? That's what we should be doing for our money. It don't make no sense for us to have these children suffering to go to college, and then they get out of college and they got a debt forever, and they might as well stay poor. This is how we doing young American young people. Making it so that they owe an arm and a leg, and they can't come out and be productive because they owe an arm and a damn leg for going to college that's going to help the country. But then you swear you ain't the gangbangers, you ain't the losers, but you ain't helping the winners. Make that make some sense. Man, we ain't doing no birthright citizenship. You come here, you have your baby, Miss Ching Chong from China, or you from Germany, or you from Africa. You have your baby. We'll give you time to get the baby together so it's old enough to travel. Then you take your ass back to Germany or Africa or China. You and the baby. Bye. Okay, you was on a vacation. Your vacation over. Your vacation cannot turn to moving. You can't take a vacation and then say, well, actually now my wife had a baby. We moved here. No, you and the baby got to go. That baby is a Chinese baby. That's an African baby. That's not an American. That baby not American. How that baby American? How you come from Kenya and have a baby? How the baby American? Make that make some sense. And take it in. Ain't no way I'm gonna have a baby. If me and my woman, she get pregnant, and we go to Ethiopia, my baby ain't no Ethiopian. I'ma just keep it real. My baby ain't no Ethiopian just because my woman had the baby in Ethiopia. That sounds stupid. How many of my women have sex, go to Ethiopia, the baby Ethiopia? How? Well, why would I have sex with my woman in Chicago and she get pregnant, had a baby in Memphis? Why my baby ain't in Memphis, sir? You know what I'm saying? My baby, that don't work in none of the cities. Like, what the hell? I ain't never heard of nothing that stupid. You ever heard something that stupid? Wherever you have a baby at, that baby that now. How? How I have to get my woman pregnant, go to France, have a baby, my baby French? My baby a French citizen? That ain't stupid. That's stupid. In order for my baby to be a French citizen, me and my woman got to move to France. Then we got to get French citizenship. And then if me and my woman become citizens and then we have a baby, then that baby is a French citizen. But me and my woman have to be citizens already for the baby to be a citizen, or am I crazy? Wouldn't me and my woman have to be a citizen already for the baby to be a citizen? How some non-citizens have a citizen baby? So I can have a citizen baby? I don't understand. I don't understand. It sounds stupid to me. If it had any kind of sense in it, I would find it. That don't make no sense at all. Not even for me. So I ain't got to put it on other people and say, no, they can't do it. I can't do that. That don't make no sense for me. I would not be able to apply that to me. That would make no sense to me and my own baby. There ain't no way me and a woman could go somewhere and have a baby and that baby from there. That don't make no sense. Me and the mama from Chicago, but the baby a Kenyan. What? What? And then I come back and raise the baby as an American. I don't raise the baby as no Kenyan. That's like if you're a Black American in the military and you're stationed overseas and your wife give birth, that child, yeah, that child's still a Black American. That's what I'm saying. This don't make no sense. This is the dumbest. And then here come the scammers. That's like you got a crib and you put a lot of food in the house. And you know people struggling. And you say, we don't be home from 5 to 7. And y'all out there that's struggling, you just come on in the house and get you something to eat. The word gonna get out. Dude, house be open. He said you could get something to eat. Who gonna be the first ones to come? The people that really need something to eat? No. The first ones gonna come is the scammers. And they gonna take all the food. The people that need the food ain't gonna get a piece of bread. Y'all know I ain't lying. Once they find out, they gonna mess the program up. So if they do have a Birthright Citizen program, it's gonna get ruined. And then see, I ain't no scammer because I'd get into the scammer. I'd be the one, listen. I can make sure you be pregnant. I got a way to make sure you be pregnant. I got a hookup to get you on the plane when you're 7 months, 8 months. I could get you there for 2 months. You sure gonna have a baby. Your baby gonna be a U.S. citizen. Pay me 10 grand. Boom, I get you an American baby. I get you an American baby for 10 grand. Yeah. People gonna be, the scammers is gonna be like, I could get you, and then a lot of people gonna pay the 10 grand and they ain't gonna get their ticket or nothing. So a lot of people gonna get scammed too, because somebody gonna tell them, yeah, you give me 10 grand, I get your ticket, you fly there, you have the baby, boom. They gonna pay them, never see him no more. So they gonna lose too, because the scammers gonna scam them. Right? They gonna be in China like, you sure? I come, I pay you 10,000, I come, I have baby American, okay, here. And they gonna never see that person. They gonna be waiting. They gonna come over. They might not even get their ticket. Man, it's gonna be scams. It's gonna be scams when you get here. It's gonna be scams trying to get here. It's gonna be scams when you leave here. It's gonna be the scamathon. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know the scammers is gonna scam that out. And the politicians, tell me the politicians ain't gonna be doing all kind of diplomatic to let people come over here for some money. The Chinese politicians say, my family want, all right, what's your family name? All right, listen, 50 racks, I get your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter. I get all 10 of them over here, and they can have their baby. And we got the clinics to make sure they be fertile. Pay. That's gonna be scam or scamathon. Y'all know that's gonna be a scamathon. It's gonna all backfire too. Because they got people in China now, got a whole bunch of American babies. But the babies in China. Lord have mercy. It's gonna be scamabama, ain't it? And it's gonna be super scam. Straight up, it's gonna be a scam marathon. A scammer blammer. It's gonna be this boy, it's gonna be going down. Then they're gonna say, this has got to stop. They're gonna be on the Senate floor. Once they lose trillions, they're gonna be on the Senate floor. We don't know who voted for this, but this has gotta stop. We got listen, look. They came over here, they registered the baby. But the name ain't the baby. The name is the son, and he's 27. And they put the son, 27-year-old name on the birth certificate. Now he's a citizen and he's a terrorist. All of that. They're going to switch the paperwork around. Dude going to have paperwork saying he the baby born here. He going to have American license and all type of stuff. And he going to be 30 years old. Talking about he was born here. Bro, that program, you 30, that program only 2 years old. Lock his ass up. Oh, my soul. Man, these people dumb. Anyway, man, I don't want to talk about this no more. Victory.